La'a Taganab. La'a Ta'ana Shakur. La'a Tachamad Ko Asherah Lara'ika. Basham Hamashiach Yahushai Tawara Tamyad Haman. The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other power before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything in the heaven that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor the cattle nor the stranger that is within thy gates. For 6 days the Most High made heaven, the earth, and the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, the water from yard. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala. All praise is due to the Most High, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Kan. We are the light of Zion down in South Florida, trying to reach out to the lost sheep of the house of Israel through the four corners of the earth. My name is Elder Lapalal. To my left is Captain Amawan. Okay, today Friday evening, we're going to go into the children of Israel entering Egypt for the first time. We'll start out with Colossians 3:17.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
Right. Whatever you do in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Most High and Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks continually. Get me Genesis 15, chapter 13. Coming up in a few weeks, about 6 weeks or so, or April 19th, we're going to have having the Passover down near South Florida. All Hebrew Israelite born are welcome to attend. April 19th, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, as we go forward towards a date, we'll be making more announcements, reminding our people, so you can make the necessary plans to join us as we commemorate our stay, our entering, our stay, and our departure from the land of bondage, Egypt, and expounding how the Most High delivered us from such a bondage. Genesis 15, verse 13.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed should be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
Right. That's the Most High communicating with Abraham. With an echo? Oh, okay. All right. The Most High was telling Abraham to know of a certainty I read it again. 15:13.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
Know of a certainty that your seed shall be as a stranger in a land that is not theirs. This is for sure. The Most High is saying, it's like it's written in stone. Your seed, whom Abraham didn't even have yet, is going to be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. Read.
And shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
And they shall afflict them 400 years. That's how long the children of Israel were afflicted by the hands of the Egyptians. Read on.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
And also that nation whom they shall serve, the Most High said he's going to judge them. You know what? He's going to pay them back for the affliction that they afflicted us over this that 400-year period. And we should come out with great substance. Meaning what? We ain't going to leave broke. Go ahead, I got a script. Get that right? Acts 7, verse 6 to 7. Oh, verse 6 and 7. Right, and that nation over 400 years. So just like in America right now, the modern day Egypt, it's coming about 400 years we've been here. How long else going to be? How long are we going to be here? That's up to the Most High and Mashiach Yahushua. Only the Most High knows how long before he sends our Mashiach Yahushua to redeem us from this bondage. So likewise, we're gonna spoil. We're gonna leave it with great substance also, just like we left the ancient Egypt with great substance after serving them for 400 years. Get that Acts 7, verse 6. Go on, read on.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 6. And Yahweh spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage, and entreat them evil 400 years. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, said Yahweh. And after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place.
Right. So basically, I believe that was Stephen, right, talking. Yeah, in time of the apostles, he was basically recapping or summarizing or reminiscing nostalgically how we became a nation. I mean, it was going into the history of our people. It's like we're reading that in Genesis right now, but when Moses was prophesying to Abraham what would happen, but in Acts we just read that it was recalling the history of our people. Same thing. It was just reiterating what was prophesied to Abraham and documented in the book of Genesis. All right, go back to Genesis, and then we're going to go to Exodus chapter 1. So that's why we could say all the scriptures that we read in the so-called New Testament is just a reiteration of what was written in the so-called Old Testament. Understand? That's why the Most High said what Yahushua said. What? It comes in the volume of the book, man, from Genesis to Revelation. It's not new. Understand? Now, even the so-called New Testament, as they say, just a new covenant. You just the covenant that it was meant to be. Because in the book of Hebrews, it said what? The blood of lambs and animals wasn't meant to take away our transgressions permanently. Only the Mashiach Yahushua was meant to do that. That's why he had to come to replace the old covenant, so to speak. Understand? Where he became that permanent sacrifice on us, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, and the testimony of the Mashiach Yahushua also become a sacrifice. Understand? Now go back, got Genesis 15. Read it again. Then get jump to Exodus 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
You more? That's it. God, yeah, that's what happened. That's a prophecy that the Most High foretold to Abraham that would happen to him. Of course, Jacob wasn't even born yet. Abraham had had Ishmael, then he had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob and Esau. Then Jacob had his 12 sons, from whom the nation of Israel was built. Kind of get me Exodus chapter 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob.
Right. These are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Joseph was already in Egypt because his older brothers had sold him to the Ishmaelite, who sold him to the Midianite, who brought him to Egypt. And we can read other chapters in Genesis of Joseph, or the Most High blessed Joseph to the point that he found favor in Pharaoh's eyes and got promoted to prominent positions to fulfill the Most High's covenant. So he could be in a position to provide for his relatives, his father and his siblings coming down into Egypt. Understand? That's what that was all about. I'll read on chapter 2, verse 2 rather.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan and Naphtali. Gad and Asher. And
right. See, these are the sons. These are the sons of Jacob. Because Joseph was already, let me call those names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right. These are 11 sons of Jacob. They didn't mention Joseph because Joseph was already in Egypt. And of course, he says in verse 1, and every man and his household came with Jacob. God, meaning his sons are also their family and children also. So Jacob was there with his sons and their wives and grandchildren. Read verse 5.
Verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already.
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was already in Egypt. Okay, so all those souls consisted of Jacob's sons and their wives, the sons and their sons' children. They all came from the lineage, the loins, the bloodline of Jacob, including Joseph, who was already in Egypt. Read on verse 6.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty.
He said in verse 6, and Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. I mean, it's talking about Jacob, it's talking about Joseph, and his brethren, his siblings, and all the Israelites from that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful. Now, the children of Israel are the descendants, obviously, of the sons of the 12 sons of Jacob, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed. Read on, verse 7.
And waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled up with them.
There are a lot of Israelites in that land, man. Read.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. He might have heard about Joseph, but hey, I guess he wasn't. He didn't. Maybe it was from a different, so to speak, political party or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So, you know what how it is when one king emerges, they try to disassociate themselves from the previous king's associates and all that. So maybe that's and try to downplay their contribution and rather just bring in his own people. So he didn't regard or respect the contribution. He must have heard of what Joseph did. The 7 years of famine, 7 years abundance and all that. On the role that he must have heard that. He must be aware of the right. Yeah, right when Rehoboam was about the rule. He disregarded the counsel of his father, which were the elders, and instead chose to take the counsel of the men, his counterpart, his peers, people he gets he grew up with, people are in his age group. He didn't want it because I guess he didn't want to yield to the wisdom of people before him. Right. So same thing with Joseph. This new Pharaoh and Joseph totally disregard the history or the contribution that Joseph made towards Egypt. Right.
Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Right. So this new Pharaoh who came on the scene recognized that we were in abundance. We were a large block of people. Now we were in Goshen, the northeastern part of Egypt. Of course, we didn't associate ourselves with the other nations. That's one reason for them to be suspicious of us. We kept our custom, our culture. We had our God. We praise the Most High, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai. Keep the commandments to the best we could. Of course, there were some of us, it's always the case, who deviated from the commandments. But we kept our culture and our own heritage and all that. And because of that, other nations became suspicious of us because we didn't try to assimilate and blend into their way of doing things. So the king said, let us deal wisely with them. By that I mean, let's be smart about this. Let's have some counsel and see how we can manipulate these people. Because like he said right in verse 10, he said, come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it came to pass that when they fought out in a war, they join also unto other enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. So they had in mind to keep the Israelites in the land because because I guess it was to their benefit. Because they saw a prosperous or the Most High was blessing us number wise, and all we were our crops and all that, because most of our people were shepherd. That's what we were shepherd. You can see we are abundant of sheep. So so all that was good for the economy of Egypt. So for that reason, they wanted us there to see how they could further manipulate us for their benefit. But they were suspicious of us because we didn't blend too much with them. And we were numerous. Read.
Verse 11. Therefore did they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
Right. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. They were able to do that because you were on the focus, you were on the focus for the most part, and just praising the Most High, going about our work, tending to our sheep and our crops, and just living a peaceful life. You weren't too concerned about establishing a kind of a military prowess in Egypt, so we were an easy target. So they Pharaoh, the Egypt being a warrior nation previously, they could easily subvert us, and conquer us like that. Had us in bondage. So they put taskmasters over us and afflict us, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. So they built cities for Pharaoh. We built cities for Pharaoh after being afflicted by the Egyptians. Khan, read verse 12.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Right? But the more they afflicted us, the more they multiplied. We multiplied and grew. The Most High was blessing us, man, in our affliction. We were one of the most resilient people on earth, man. Even to this day, after going through 400 years of hard labor, all kind of atrocities, everywhere we are, around the four corners of the earth, yet the Most High said what? When Yahweh comes, we shall be as the sand of the sea. After going through all the affliction for over 400 years, they couldn't wipe us out because of our resilient spirit that the Most High instilled in us. We shall be as the sand of the sea, man. Hard labor, Jim Crow, discrimination, the perpetual hatred. God, read it, what you got?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 35. Thus saith the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and the stars for a light by night.
Right, the Most High who gives us the sun for the light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and the stars by night. Read, what did the Most High say?
Which divideth the sea when the waves are of war.
Right, the Most High divided the sea when the waves are of roar. That's how much the Most High is in control of the elements of this earth. He determines how far the waves are going to go on the beach. So at any time, the Most High can bring what do you call Mother Nature. He ain't a Mother Nature, it's the Most High at work. When the Most High brings about a tsunami, and the Most High from time to time brings us tsunamis, man, and bring havoc on this earth. Because the Most High is in control of the elements. Read on.
The Most High, the power of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Other One, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Right. The Most High said, if those ordinances departed from him, from before him, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation. So this is a rhetorical question. But have those ordinances departed from the Most High? The Most High is still in control of the waves of the ocean. The Most High is still in control of the sun that shineth by day, of the sun. The moon and the stars by night. All those ordinances and how they operate are still ever before the Most High. That's proof right there that the Israelites, even though people don't know who they are in the four corners of the earth, are very much intact and shall be as the sand of the sea when it's time for the Most High to redeem us and bring us back into the wilderness under the bond of the covenant again. With more? Read on.
Thus said the Other One, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel, for they all that they have done, said the Most High.
Right. If heaven above can be measured, and the seas can be measured, which you know we can. You can't determine the length of the sky. Scientists wish they could. You can't determine how much volume of water is in the ocean. You can't. So if you can measure all those elements, then the children of Israel shall cease from being before the Most High. And we are proof right here today. And every day when we go on, see him going on the internet and finding our remnant of our brothers and sisters in various parts of the world who have established communities throughout hundreds of years in various parts of the world. All those are proof that we are ever before the Most High, being woken up, coming back to earth, and about to celebrate this Passover in a few weeks. We on? Oh yeah, go back to Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Right. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel, because they saw no matter what they did to us, we were multiplying, we were prospering. That's why the so-called white men on this nation got a perpetual hatred for Israel, man. They see all they've done to us. We keep bouncing back. We keep bouncing back. Them damn niggers, they keep bouncing back. They're spics, they're wetbacks. They keep bouncing back. And they grieve for us, man. And they made us serve with rigor. Every time they see us bouncing back, they come up with new plans to keep us down. Read on.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Right. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. So we were field Negroes, man. That's how we done. We were in hard bondage. All the service wherein they made them serve was with the rigor, hard labor, hard bondage. There was no siesta there. No chill time. Read.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other was Puah.
And the king of Israel spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. You know, midwives, of course, are the sisters who have the ability to help deliver babies. That was the skill that the Most High blessed them with, to deliver babies when it's time for a sister to give birth. Read on.
And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Right. So that's what the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives. When you perform a duty as a midwife and you see that it's a son, kill it. And if it's a daughter, then it shall live. Right now we are basically having the same problem in our communities with this so-called so-called institution that's set up in our communities, family planning and all that. That's the name they give for it. Give to those institutions. But we know they're there to perform abortion on our children, to diminish our population. because we're growing too rapidly. And they're concerned about our multitude. Because the more of us there is, the less they're able to control us and manipulate us. That's why they incarcerate our men at such a high rate. That's why they incarcerate our men at such a high rate, man. Trap our young boys with criminal records and all that. Teenagers, so it's hard for them to give them a felony and all that. It's hard for them to get a decent job, high-paying jobs when they become adults and be able to provide when they're required to provide for them their family. All those are tactics that they use in our people. These family planning clinics that they have in our neighborhood, that's a part of this the strategy of population control to diminish our population. There's nothing new under the sun. Understand? They can't blatantly do it like Pharaoh did it back then, giving a commandment to the midwives. But they have the strategy that they can implement. Also, when they sterilize, historically over the years, or they used to sterilize our black women, or so-called black women, our sisters, to prevent them from able to give to get pregnant. All those are strategies that the so-called white men and the other nations would implement to diminish our population growth. Right?
Verse 17. But the midwives feared the Most High, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them. But they saved the men children alive.
Right, but the midwives feared the Most High. That's right. That's who we're supposed to fear, the Most High. And did not do as the king commanded, but save the men children alive. Read on.
And the king of Egypt called for the midwives, and said unto them, Why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
Right. So Pharaoh now was upset with that, and tried to check the sisters, the midwives. Why didn't you do as I told you to do? Why did you save the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered here. The midwives come in unto them. They are lively. These men are women, they're full of life. They love the children, love the Most High. Understand? They're not like you are Egyptian woman. Like the Egyptian woman, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Right, so the midwives deliver their babies successfully, as per the Most High. But read on.
Therefore the Most High dealt with the midwives, and the people multiplied, and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared the Most High, that he made them houses.
See that? When you fear the Most High, keep his commandments, man, it's a reward for you. Read.
And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born ye should cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive.
And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. So now he's this becoming like a policy within Egypt now. You got the Egyptian police now monitoring the Israelite communities to see when a child is about to be born, and observing if it's going to be a son or a daughter, if it's a son or a daughter, to carry out Pharaoh's command to kill the son and deliver the daughter. And it's because it's a son that carries, it's a male child that carries a seed that determines further population growth. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man out of the house of Levi and took a wife, a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months.
Right. Now it's a story of a man of the house of Levi who took a Levite wife who got pregnant and had a son. And when she saw him that was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. He said, I'm not going to kill my son. I love my, she got so attached to her son, as most mothers are. And she hid him for 3 months. It's a long time. You know, babies cry and all that. You know, so she did her best to, keep the noise down, keep the baby from crying and all that. So Pharaoh and his henchmen looking out, observing our communities, looking out for the birth of a man-child, wasn't able to detect that there was a son in the house. Read.
And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and dubbed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river brink.
Right. She couldn't hide it anymore. You know, but there's always some traders hanging around, man. Some farmers. Always snitching at their own people. Always trying to sell out their own community. Nothing new. So she couldn't hide her son anymore after that 3 months. So she built a little ark, put the child in it. Make sure the ark was built in a way that could stay afloat, it wouldn't sink and all that. And of course, she would observe the child in the ark to make sure it was safe. Read.
And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river. And her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children.
Right. So the sister was observing what was happening, and was watching to see what would happen to her little baby brother. The Pharaoh's wife came down to bathe, and the maidens and saw the little ark, and went to fetch a child. He said, "And this this is a Hebrew woman that she made. This is one of the Hebrews' children. Maybe she knew by I don't know, maybe feature or or she was or the child was dressed, circumcision, that could be that, or the fact that somebody was hiding the child, because maybe the Egyptians wouldn't have done that, something to that effect. But she realized that was a Hebrew child. Verse 7.
And then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And
now ain't that something? She slick said, can I go get you a nurse? As if she was going to get some random woman, knowing well that she was going to get her mother, the child's mother, the son's mother, to nurse a child. So she went to get her mother. Read.
And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
Right. So the mother, the biological mother, as the Most High worked it out, was able to keep her son, and even though she eventually would have to turn it over to Pharaoh, to Pharaoh's daughter, but at least she was comforted in knowing that her son was safe because she was the one who was actually going to give a nursing the child. And then she turned the child over to when the child grew up at a certain age. She turned him over to Pharaoh, to Pharaoh's daughter. She called him Moses, mean Masha, being drawn from the water. Read.
And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
Right, this is years later. Now Moses, this is kind of basically the scripture is summarizing things. I mean, so of course, a lot of years had elapsed between when the child was given to Pharaoh's daughter and when he grew up to be a man. So right now we're reading in verse 11, or when Moses was a man, and went out for a little walk, whatever, and saw two Hebrew men fighting each other. No, he saw two men fight. We said he saw two men fighting, and he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren. Read.
One of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand.
Right. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. He thought there was no man. Okay. So, I mean, representing his nation, representing his nation, saw someone afflicting his brethren. And when he thought that no one was looking, he slew that man. And he had buried him in the sand. Read.
And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Attendest thou to kill me, as I killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
Right. So the next day Moses went out again. He was very concerned for his people. You know what I mean? He's not like one of those aristocratic, live in the big house with the enemies, and just living a good life and not being concerned about the people in the hood. So he was, even though he was living the good life in the Pharaoh's palace, he was concerned about the welfare of his people because he was, his mother instilled in him, because she was the one who nursed him initially anyway, his heritage and his nationality, and his concern for his people. So he grew up with that. That's why the scripture says, train up a child when he's young, when he grows old, he never depart. So that's what happened to Moses. His love for his people was instilled in him by his mother. And when he became a man, even though he grew up in Pharaoh's house among the Egyptians, the elite of the nation, he still had regard for his people to the point that he would go out in the communities just to observe how they were doing and to see how we could assist them. So this guy said, "Who are you? Who are you to make to pass judgment on me? Who made you a prince and a judge over us? What are you gonna do? Kill me like you killed the Egyptian?" And Moses said, "What? Somebody saw me. This thing is known. I got a jet." Read verse 15 now.
Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. And they came and drew water and filled their troughs to water their father's flock.
Right. So Pharaoh heard that, man. The news. Pharaoh was like, hey, Pharaoh was looking for Moses to kill him. But by that time, Moses was long gone. And dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. Read on, verse 16.
Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. And they came and drew water and filled their troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flocks.
See that that's the kind of person Moses was. Always defending the underdog. Just like he defended a guy, his Israelite brethren, when the Egyptians smote him, hit him. The same thing Moses again doing, defending these damsels, where the shepherds of their own people would drive them away. Read.
And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "How is it that you are come so soon today?"
Yeah, because normally, his daughters would have to stand in line and wait for the other people, especially the men, to feed their flock. But because of Moses, they were able to feed their flock quicker. So they went back to their father's house a lot sooner than expected. Read on.
And they said, "An Egyptian deliver us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock." And he said unto his daughters, "And where is he? And why is it that ye have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread."
Right. So the father, his name right here says Reuel, said, "Why you back so early?" He said, "An Egyptian." I guess they thought Moses was an Egyptian. I guess maybe by the way he dressed, maybe by his accent or whatever. So they thought Moses was an Egyptian. So the father said, "Go get him, so they could eat bread with us." Read.
And Moses was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. And she bare him a son. And he called his name Gershom. For he said, "I have been a stranger in a strange land." And it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by the reason of bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto the Most High by reason of the bondage.
Right. So Moses, the Midianite, Reuel, he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah. Okay, and they had a son whom we call Gershom. For he said, "I have been a stranger in a strange land." So I guess Gershom means stranger. And it came to pass as in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried. Read.
And their cry came up unto the Most High by reason of the bondage. And the Most High heard their groaning. And the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, and with Isaac, and with Jacob.
See that? The children of Israel cried unto the Most High by reason of the bondage. And the cry came up unto Yahweh by reason of the bondage. And the Most High heard their groaning. And the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and with Jacob. So that's what about this affliction we're going through right now in these days. We gotta do the same thing, man. We can't just take it. We can't. Just go through the motion. We gotta cry to the Most High. Understand? Because it's the same covenant we're under. It's the same agreement of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the Most High will have respect unto that, just like he had respect unto our forefathers back in Egypt when they were crying and sighing unto him for the bondage they were going through under the Egyptians. So we got to pray without ceasing, complain to the Most High for the bondage that we're in. Keep his laws, statutes, and commandments continually. Read. You got some?
And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them.
And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them. So the Most High had mercy upon us. Truly the Most High's mercy endured forever. The Most High saw the affliction we were going through, and how we were being ruled with vigor under the Egyptians. And remember the covenant. The Most High keep the covenant forever, man. generation to generation. Remember the covenant that he made with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Most High was thinking at that point to, hey, bring us out of the bondage that we were in under the Egyptians. Read.
Book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of the Most High, even to Horeb.
So now at this point, Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. So now his name is now being referred to as Jethro, not Ruel. Father-in-law, the priest of Midian, father of Zipporah, who he gave to Moses. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of the Most High, even to Horeb. Read on.
And the angel of the Most High appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the other one saw that he turned aside to see, the Most High called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am.
Right. So the angel of the Most High now appeared unto Moses, in the Mount Horeb. And then Moses saw the burning bush. The bush burning, but not being consumed. And Moses went to look further. He never saw a sight like that before. The bush is on fire, but it's not burning. It's still green as grass, as other bushes. So now they heard the voice of the Most High calling unto him, and he answered. Read.
And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet. For the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the power of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Right. So the Most High is revealing himself to Moses, making Moses know who he was. And he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, said, I am the Most High, the power, Most High, the power of thy father, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Read.
And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. And the other one said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows, and I came down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them out of that land unto a good land, a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
So the Most High will let Moses know that he heard the affliction, the cry of the Israelites, and he's about to deliver them out of the bondage that they were in under their taskmasters and bring them into the land of Canaan, a land that belonged to the Canaanites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, Girgashites, all those ites, the Hamites, a very prosperous land. Read.
Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children.
Did you jump verse 9?
Oh, Salakio. Now, therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me. And I have also seen the oppression wherein the Egyptians oppressed them.
Right. So the Most High is aware of our oppression. Just like he was aware of the oppression that our forefathers were under the Egyptians. Read.
Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto the Most High, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I shall bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt.
So the Most High was now commissioning Moses for this task of delivering the Israelites from out of the hands of Pharaoh. Moses said, "Me? Who am I? Why you choosing me? What makes you think I have the ability to do that?" Read.
And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain. And Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The power of your fathers has sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
Right. So Moses was asking the Most High, I see you trying to send me to deliver the Israelites from under the bondage of Pharaoh. So when I go to them, what am I going to tell them? They're going to ask me, who's this God that sent you to deliver us from Pharaoh under the bondage? What is his name? What am I going to tell them? Read.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you.
Right. This is where a lot of people think this is the Most High's name. I am that I am. Ahaya. I'm not sure. A lot that this is where a lot of people think this is what the Most High is right. In verse 14, the Most High is giving his name to Moses. And the Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am. This is not when the Most High is giving his name. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am that sent you. Read. This is the verse now where the Most High is going to tell you what his name is.
And Yahweh said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel.
So the Most High is now elaborating. Okay. And the Most High said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, to answer the question of who or what my name is. Read.
The Most High power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob has sent me unto you.
Now, this is where the Most High give his name. This is what you should tell the Israelite, the children of Israel. The Lord Yahweh, the Most High, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, power of Isaac, the power of Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever. Read.
This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations.
Right. If you read the book of Hebrews, if you read the Hebrews, tell us it says Yah. That's where that's what the Most High's name is. I wish I brought my Hebrew book so I could read that verse right there. This is my name forever. Read on. have the other one? Another one? You got that one? That's your cereal? Genesis 3 verse 15. And Elohim said moreover unto Moshe, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Yahweh Elohim, in Yahweh, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Yishkak, and the power of Yaakov hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So right, so Yahweh says Yahweh, the power. Understand? Elohim, the power of your Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's the Most High's name, Yahweh. Who's Yahweh? The power of your fathers. The power of Abraham, the power of Jacob, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Can. Then put back the other one.
Verse 16. Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, the idol one power of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt.
Right. So go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, the power, Lord, power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. So Moses was telling Abraham, I'm Yahweh, go tell the elders that I have visited the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I have visited you and have seen the affliction that they've gone through under the Egyptians. Read.
And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and they shall hearken to thy voice. And thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt. And ye shall say unto him, the idol one power of the Hebrews have met with us. And now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the idol one our power.
Right. And they should, you and the elders shall go to the Egyptians, let them know. And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shall come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him, the power, Yahweh, the power of the Hebrews hath met with us. And now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to our power, Yahweh. So the Most High now commanding the elders along with Moses to go to the Egyptians, let them know that he has revealed himself to them. And now he's telling the Egyptians to let them go 3 days' journey into the wilderness to sacrifice unto the Most High. Praise the Most High. Read.
And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. No, not by a mighty hand.
Right. The Most High know this is just part of our, you're just warming up. This is just part of the process of having his people being delivered from Egypt. He was sure that Pharaoh wasn't going to let them go. Read.
And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go.
So the Most High letting them know, hey, the only way that Pharaoh is going to let you go is after I afflict him terribly. He's not going to let you go just simply by you requesting that he let you go, because I told him to make that request. Read.
And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, you shall not go empty, but every woman shall borrow of her neighbor.
See that? And the Moses said, and I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. Just like the prophecy that Moses made to Abraham in Genesis 15 and verse 13. You shall leave with great substance. This is a fulfillment of this is just a reminder that the Most High will fulfill that prophecy that they made to Abraham. Understand, they were afflicted 400 years, and they're about to be delivered. And when they're delivered, they're going to leave with great substance, just like the Most High told it Abraham over 400 years ago. Many years ago, more than 400 years ago. Read.
But every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver and jewels of gold, and raiment, and ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians.
Right. But every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver and jewels of gold, in raiment. You shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians. So the Most High let them know what it's going to be like. They get into a mindset of being delivered. We have to get also into a mindset that we're not in this place forever. We're not going to be in this place forever. We got to come back to a heritage or a nationality, separate ourselves spiritually from the other nations, keep our laws, Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and know that soon Most High gonna I was delivered from this place, and just like our forefathers spoiled the Egyptians, we're gonna spoil the modern day Egyptians, Babylonians, and all the heathens round about us.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Most High liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right. That's gonna be that's gonna be a new talk in town. There's gonna come. We're not gonna be talking about how much the Most High delivered the children of Israel from the Egyptians. We're gonna be talking about something else. Read.
But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
That's what we're going to be talking about. How the Most High delivered the children of Israel from the land of the north. The land of the north is right here in America. And of course, the four corners of the earth where the Israelites are scattered. But because there's so much resistance right in America, and this is where the truth, start coming out on a large level, being distributed on a large level to the 12 tribes. It's going to be so dramatic. Read.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right. And he will bring us again unto the land that he gave to our fathers. And the land is Canaan, which we just read about. Understand? And then the Most High is going to bring us back into rulership. That's going to be it. That concludes today's lesson. We're going to continue with this next, Most High willing, next Shabbat, as we approach the Passover in a few weeks' time. So once again, Shabbat Shalom to Yasharallah, and a reminder that Passover is coming up April 19th. For those right down in South Florida, the address is 345 North State Road 7. Okay, the cost for one person is $50. For family, $100. For additional family members outside of your immediate family, it's an additional $20. It's going to be glorious. We commemorate our departure from the bondage and the establishment of our nation, of a sovereign nation. And as we look forward to the second coming and the second Exodus, by Shamash Gawashai. Tawara, Yasharala, for listening. And tomorrow also, at 12 noon Eastern, is the Sabbath service. And then, Shalom, Yasharala. Mashiach Spalal, Abanawa, Shabashamayam, Kwadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahawa, Malakwathka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Ka, Bashamayam, Natan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalat Nawa, Kawabwath Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kawabat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Manrai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahatapa Arath, Ta'awalam, Ba'asham, Hamashayak, Yahawashai, Tawara, Aman.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this matter, therefore pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. By Shalamah Sheikh Yahushai, the water Aman.